Patients seeking medical attention in Nigeria's public health institutions finally get some respite as the Joint Health Sector Union, demanding for a better condition of service, suspends its 9-day-long strike in principle. For the upton time, this is raising the issue of health care delivery in Nigeria, as the fate of patients and indeed health care delivery is left in a dangerous balance if the government and all stakeholders in the sector do not urgently come up with a sustainable way to revamp the Nigeria's public health institutions. It's question time. Welcome to the program. I'm Benga Ashuru. In a situation where the rich and the upper class have the luxury of going on medical vacation abroad, what happens to the masses who may not be able to afford overseas treatments? What's the way forward for Nigeria's health sector, which is indeed in a desperate situation that cries out for intervention? We caught up with Nigeria's Minister of Health, Professor Adewole. We begin by asking him what's responsible for the conflicts within Nigeria's health sector.
Well, it's unfortunate that we really have to contend with these agitations, both within and across professions in the health sector. But let me start off front. These are attributable to problems, policies, agreements signed or not signed over the last almost 10 years ago. So this administration is inherited this problem and now has the misfortune of having to address some of these issues. At a time, and many of the agreements had financial implications. Previous administration that had money did not implement them. Unfortunately for us, we were in recession, we're just coming out of recession, now we have to contend with this. And to some, we just have to take it head on, and we are doing that.
In a twist of fate, you've also been in the shoes. You were once a member of the union, of the Medical Practitioners Union, and now a lot of expectations comes at your doorstep, because one expects a lot of empathy from you, and also to know what you are getting into in terms of addressing some of this, because you said many of these things are inherited problems.
Well, as a member of a union, one would not necessarily have thorough understanding of the dimension, particularly the financial implication, and also the ability of government to pay. Let's also say clearly, the ability to pay is a critical issue in negotiation. We're going through a period where government's ability to pay is questionable, simply because the money is not there. Thank God, through the prudence administration or management of the resources, we're getting out of recession, and we must commend Mr. President, Minister of Budget Finance. They've done excellently well trying to get us out of recession. But still, the underlying factor is that we really have to balance many factors, and also balance what we call professional harmony across the various sectors. But by and large, we're managing this crisis, and we'll get out of it.
Going back into the 2010 agreement, since then, there have been arguments and counter-arguments about the reality that it's a different reality now, the exchange rate, then when the agreement was signed and now. But so looking at these problems now, is there a way, is there a working template to address this issue once and for all?
What we've done as an administration is, one, plug leakages, implement the TSA, introduce a robust economic and recovery growth plan, instill discipline and transparency in the way and manner in which we are managing resources, and massively investing in infrastructure. This, to me, is the clear-cut strategy for getting out of recession. Also, managing restiveness in the Niger Delta that will allow us to produce oil, managing the insecurity in the Northeast. These are clear-cut strategies that the PNB administration is employing to address the problem on ground. And it has paid off handsomely. For the first time in the history of the country, PNB came on board and said, no, I'm going to tackle corruption. We do not tackle corruption. The corruption will kill us. So I think we're benefiting handsomely from his robust, the robust manner through which he's addressing these issues.
Some health experts are saying privatization of the Nigeria's tertiary health institutions is the way to go. Is this the way to go? Well,
interestingly, I happen to be a member of a 15-member think tank set up by Chief Obasanjo to develop a post-2015 health agenda for Nigeria. A key recommendation of that committee is privatization of tertiary health. But now, on this seat, I recognize quite well that we cannot start it on with privatization. We must provide alternatives to our people. We are revitalizing primary care, making health care service available to people at the grassroots, and then we will engage the private sector to implement PPP and call for massive investment of the private sector in health care delivery. So we are doing it using a different approach, and I think we will deliver the same result.
From the fallout of the crisis, the strike action of the National Association of Resident Doctors now, there have been lots of allegations trailing your office. You've been accused, along with the Minister of State, that you are of turning the Ministry of Health from Ministry of Health to Ministry of Medical Practitioners, thereby accusing you specifically of giving preference to the doctors.
That's absolutely incorrect. Let me say clearly, while I will not really absolve doctors of mishandling some of the issues, but what the doctors are asking for are things non-doctors are already enjoying. If you look at the table of demands, the doctors are saying, we want to be on IPPIs. Non-doctors are already on IPPIs. The doctors are saying our position, appointment should be made pensionable. It used to be pensionable in the past. So, no, that should have been contestable. But then somewhere along the line, someone delivered an obnoxious circular and abolished what we call the pensionable nature of the appointment. So, to me, those are basic things. And some of those things the doctors fought for, like what we call same-skill promotion, the non-doctors will benefit. So to me, there's really no basis for that position, that, oh, we've turned into a ministry of doctors. But we will continue to respond to issues as and when they arise. And our job is to make sure that all the professionals in the health sector work as a team in order to deliver quality health care to our people.